My name is Curtis Vanderschaff and I'm an assistant professor at Louisiana Tech. The majority of this work was completed along with Boris Taeda, who is now deceased, while I was a research specialist at the University of Arkansas Monticello from 1999 to 2001. And Bill Patterson is an associate professor at Louisiana Tech. As trees grow, their weight and size increases. And it is known that as the above ground component of a tree becomes larger, so does its root volume. An increase in the above ground biomass of a tree may result in the tree sinking due to gravity and a corresponding decrease in the original breast height level, further referred to as displacement, where this is a stick 4.5 feet above the ground as measured at the base of the tree, and this is the original DBH line established at age 12. Below ground increases in biomass push the soil up and out and may result in a ground level raising near the base of the tree, and this will further be referred to as G, an increase near the base of the tree. It is our belief that both forces may be at work and to some extent offset one another. Displacement and ground raising may increase for larger trees since their above ground weights and root volumes are greater. These two pictures here show a larger tree, which is 25.2 inches dBH, and then a smaller tree, 7.6 inches dBH. And notice the small tree had relatively minimal displacement, where the red is the current dBH as measured from the base of the tree, and the yellow flag covers white caulking that represents the original dBH remarked through time from age 12 in the thinning treatments and age 27 in the unthinned treatments. So you can see there's a minimal amount of dBH displacement in this smaller tree in the unthinned, most likely more due to the smaller diameter tree, as opposed to the larger diameter tree in a thinning treatment. These phenomena may result in errors when estimating volume. We believe one way is that displacement and ground raising can impact the dBH level over time, and hence the measurement of dBH that is often used to produce volume, weight, biomass estimates during long-term measurement research studies. Remeasuring diameter at the same level across time removes this complication. So we notice this, that line, stripes of white paint, initially placed at age 12 in thinning treatments and at age 27 in unthinned treatments, and then periodically remarked on trees in a 43-year-old loblolly pine plantation in southeastern Arkansas, are lower than 4.5 feet above the ground level as originally established at ages 12 or 27, especially for larger trees. So to document this minor process of stand dynamics and explain it, we conducted this study to determine whether trees at 43 years of age have had their dBH level changed because of displacement and or ground raising. To find an explanation of the observed change in the breast height level, further referred to as displacement, we formulated these hypotheses. Sinking due to gravity caused by an increase in the above ground biomass of a tree, ground elevation resulting from the increase of below ground volume of roots which pushes the soil out and up. The combination of these two forces and the extent of both forces is related to tree weight and volume. So the approach was the measurements of displacement and ground elevation are sufficient to test these hypotheses. We assume no error during the initial establishment of dBH through the caulking at age 12 and 27, 12 in the thinned, 27 in the unthinned. So there are two apparent cases where D equals G. This would mean that the sole reason for displacement is ground elevation, or D, displacement is greater than the ground raising. In this case, the tree sank into the soil. This figure shows the relationship between dBH displacement and ground raising, and that there is a linear relationship between the two of them. There's a total of 25 trees for the thinned part of the study and 10 trees from the unthinned part. You can see that the amount of displacement does not equal the amount of ground raising near the base of the tree. Therefore, the trees, to some extent, sank into the ground. This figure shows there is a relationship between the amount of dBH displacement and the dBH of the tree. As trees get larger in dBH, the amount of displacement increases. And we can see that as dBH increases, the amount of ground raising also increases. This is a tribute to Dr. Borzeda and the impact that he had on my career. This is a picture of him along with the sign describing the Monticello thinning and pruning study. This picture was taken around 2000.